Hello, everyone, and welcome to another story time brought to you by me, Miss Sasha. And I am so glad that you all are here. And I'm just going to go ahead and get right on into it, y'all. I know it's been a little minute because I have been reading out of the third book out of the series of the JD and the Great Barber Battle books. Okay, so this one right here, bam, JD and the Hairshow Showdown, written by J. Dillard, illustrated by Akeem S. Roberts, who's the next celebrity barber. Again, I will say this, if this is your first time listening, please make sure you go back and listen to JD and the Great Barber Battle. You guys, you have to know where JD got his start, all right? How did he get to this place? How did he become the celebrity barber? Okay? And so you will definitely be so intrigued, so engaged. If you're feeling this one, please, again, like I said, you have to go back and listen to JD and the Great Barber Battle. Then after that, listen to JD and the Family Business, okay? And of course, bam, here we go, here we go. And just to give you a little recap of where we at so far, well, JD and his mom, they flew to Atlanta, the ATL, because this is where this big hair show is happening, y'all. And so I love how this book is going through how JD was just enjoying his first plane ride with his mom, and also talking about the awesome, dope hotel that they're staying in, the foods that he's been able to taste, all of these, different wonderful things and experiences that he's been having, which is just so amazing, right? So I hope that you all are getting ready to now listen to chapter 6, which is entitled The Amazing Show. Tabitha walked me and Mom down to the convention center. Inside, she stopped at 2 double doors. JD, welcome to the showroom. When I looked out, I had the same feeling I had on Christmas morning. Every Christmas, my senses would be overwhelmed by all the presents under the tree and so many good smelling things cooking in the kitchen. I never knew where to start. There were dozens upon dozens of people holding hair products on trays. I watched as clouds of hairspray puffed in the air, mixing with the powder flying off the necks of the models getting their hair cut. Through the fog, I spotted one of my favorite Instagram barbers, Kolorful Kris, who was known for doing freestyle designs with colors. He sketched out designs by hand, and after he cut them into his clients' heads, he colored in each shape with organic colored pencils. I needed to get his autograph. I might be the best barber in Meridian, or maybe even Mississippi. But I saw now that the barber world was bigger than anything I could have imagined. Miss Tabitha, can I say hi to Kolorful Kris? Sure, she replied. Up close, I could see that Kolorful Kris had a cool fade with multiple colors. It almost looked like his head was a rainbow cake. Even his clothes were bright. He had on an orange tie-dye shirt with pink jeans and powder blue shoes. Hi, Kolorful Kris. I'm JD, the kid barber, and I'm your biggest fan, I told him. I started doing color after looking at your Instagram. That's dope, little man, he said. He put down the papers he was holding and walked closer to me. Can my mom take our picture? I asked. Kolorful Kris laughed. No problem, my dude, he said. Kolorful Kris put his arm around me and my mom took a picture on her phone. I hope she took a few in case I blinked. Thanks, Kolorful Kris. Can I ask you one more thing? He nodded and cupped his ear like he was trying to hear me better. Are your color pencils for sale? Kolorful Kris picked up a box and inspected it. Then he looked at me and smiled. They are. But since you're my biggest fan and you're already doing hair at your age, I'll gift you a set. Mom reached inside her purse to pull out her wallet. Psh, no, ma'am. Mm-mm. Your money's no good here. He tossed the box of pencils to me. But if someone asks what tools you're working with, I'd appreciate if you tell them you're working with Kolorful Kris's organic hair art pencils. And tag me on social media if you haven't. This was the best feeling I'd had since I opened a box from my Uncle Hal. And instead of just old clothes from my cousins, he had put a set of clippers inside. Mom and I thanked Kolorful Kris one more time before we followed Tabitha around the floor. There was so much about cutting hair that I didn't know. We walked by people using clippers with blades I'd never seen. Others were using barber shears to make styles that were new to me, like something called a comb over. We stopped at a beard oil booth. It was next to a person styling dreadlocks using neon colors. I hadn't trimmed a beard yet. Most of my clients were kids with bald faces. I always thought that an advantage I had was my head start. But who knows? Maybe these people cut hair when they were kids too. I wasn't feeling all that special anymore. To distract myself, I started scanning the crowd for a model for my demo. Almost everyone who passed by us already had an amazing hairstyle. I guess that makes sense. Who would show up to a hair show without a clean edge up? But just then, the crowd parted around a man holding the hand of a boy who seemed a little bit younger than me. The boy definitely didn't have a fresh new haircut. Hey, Mom, that kid needs my help, I said while pointing. Can you ask the man he's with if the boy wants to be my model for the hair demo? Mom put her hand on my forearm and pressed it down. Pointing is rude, JD, she said. And do you really want me to ask a stranger that question? Her eyebrows arched when she said, that question. I nodded with a lot of excitement so she'd see that I was serious. I'll tell you what. Why don't we go over there together and you can introduce yourself and give your pitch. I'll be there to support you. Mom put her hand on my shoulder. Does that sound fair for my young entrepreneur? I shrugged. I guess it did. Mom and I walked over to the man. I explained that I was a kid barber who was invited to do a demo at the show, and I'd be honored if I could work on the boy's hair, since he was rocking a shadow fade that hadn't been touched in at least 3 weeks. The man laughed and the boy rubbed his own neck. Mikey, what do you say? He asked the boy. You know, I'm sorry I didn't have time to get you a haircut after I picked you up from your mom's house yesterday. JD, the kid barber, says he can make it right. Do you want to give him a shot? Mikey looked at me like I was a space alien. I hadn't sold him on it yet. Mikey, I have a lot of experience with kid hair. My first client was my baby brother, Justin, and he's a happy customer. I ran my hand across my fade with my half moon part. And you see my hair? I did it myself. Eventually, Mikey loosened up. Okay, JD, he said, I'll see you at 3 o'clock. I felt more confident about my demo instantly. Now that I had found a model, I could relax. I turned to Miss Tabitha. Is it okay for me to take one of the classes I read about on the schedule? Well, JD, these are adult classes, and we don't want to be late for your demo, she said. I squeezed Mom's hand, and she assured Tabitha it wouldn't be a problem. I took out my schedule and traced my finger along the line that said hair design with London Brown. We had time to look at a few more booths and stop for a snack break before the class started at noon. I might be in a room full of people who were better than me, But that didn't mean I couldn't learn how to get on their level. Ooh, super dope. What say y'all, huh? What do you all say about that chapter? I mean, I just love it. JD's determination it is just amazing. Oh man, I mean, he's inspiring me, okay? JD, this is a made up character, all right? So this is actually realistic fiction, right? So what does that mean? Simply put, even though this is a made up story, this can actually happen. Okay? This is something that can actually happen. You can actually have a young brother who has a bad haircut from his very sincere mother. He decides, you know what? I don't want to get talked about. I ain't trying to get cracked on. So I'm about to go and try to cut my hair myself. And lo and behold, next thing you know, Shazam, ta-da, how you like me now? JD is just popping, banging celebrity barber, y'all. So yes, all of this could happen. The determination and willpower that JD has is just absolutely phenomenal. And I hope that you all are gaining that as well while you all are listening to this dope book. So once again, I hope you all enjoyed the chapter. And I hope that you all are making sure that you're still getting your 30 minutes a day of reading in, right? And I'm just going to put the camera down real quick just to remind you of something. Bam, 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 bam. What does that say, y'all? You guessed it, or you read it, I should say. Reading is freedom. Thank you all again for listening. I'm Miss Sasha. Please make sure that you like, subscribe, leave comments, share, and hit that notification bell as well. I appreciate you all tremendously for listening, for sharing, and leaving dope comments. Also, to shout out to the school in Camden, Mississippi as well. I have to give them a special shout out. Teacher reached out to me, and she definitely said that her class has been appreciating and loving these awesome read alouds. And so I appreciate her. And I just hope that that class, you all are doing great things. You all are brilliant. Thank you all once again for listening. And please make sure that you get in your 30 minutes a day of reading. All right, y'all. Miss Sasha, reading is freedom. Peace.